Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundlesssuccess to join today. Let's get you to the next level. We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth. More wildfire deaths, Biden's Title IX changes blocked by the courts, a new way that milk does a body good, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Santa Ana winds are bringing more danger to Southern California. The strong, dry winds that fueled the wildfires last week have returned, and officials warn the threat of continued spread remains high until Wednesday. At least 24 people have died and over 12,000 structures have been destroyed as of Sunday night. The nation's top investigators are exploring the possible origins of the fires, including an electrical tower area near Eaton Canyon. The Palisades fire is only 13% contained, and the Eaton fire is 27% contained. LAPD is now warning people affected by the tragedy to be on guard against scammers who are actively targeting vulnerable individuals and families, exploiting their distress. The Los Angeles Fire Department chief warned a month ago that a near $18 million budget cut had plunged it into unprecedented operational challenges, which would hamper its ability to respond to large-scale emergencies like wildfires. LAFD Chief Kristen Crowley sounded off on the budget cuts in a December 4th memo, where she foresaw what she described as the cascading impacts the cost-saving measures would have on the department. The city slashed $17.6 million from the LAFD in its latest budget, and the decision has come in for scathing criticism as several monster fires ripped through the county, with at least 24 people already announced dead. Crowley said that the city of Los Angeles failed its over 100,000 displaced residents who were forced to evacuate from the ongoing wildfire siege. When asked by KTTV if the city of Los Angeles and its mayor Karen Bass failed the city, Crowley replied yes. Crowley said that pressing staffing shortages impacted the department's response time when the blaze began tearing across Los Angeles. Any budget cut is going to impact our ability to provide service, she said. That is a ground truth in regard to our ability. If there's a budget cut, we had to pull from somewhere else. What does that mean? That doesn't get done, or that there are delays. Donald Trump was sentenced to zero punishment for his conviction on 34 counts of falsifying business records to conceal hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Last week, he made a brief video appearance in a New York courtroom to face a judge who sentenced him to an unconditional discharge, an atypical but widely anticipated outcome of the criminal case getting closed with no jail time or fine. Trump maintained his innocence, calling the sentencing a despicable event and promising to appeal the decision. The no penalty sentence means that Trump's felony conviction does not preclude him from voting in his home state of Florida, though he is barred from owning a gun under federal law and must now provide a DNA sample to New York State's crime database. Israeli security and policy chiefs arrived in Qatar to discuss a proposed ceasefire in Gaza that would see the remaining Israeli hostages released before President-elect Trump's inauguration. Biden has been pressing for the deal as a final Hail Mary for his legacy. Disagreements remain on several key points, including the timing and extent of Israel's redeployment and withdrawal from Gaza and its willingness to end the war. Trump has told Hamas that if all the hostages are not released by the time he takes office on January 20th, there will be hell to pay. On Thursday, a federal judge in Kentucky issued a nationwide block to the Biden administration's Title IX rewrite, which made gender identity a protected characteristic under the Education Amendment of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and would have required schools and colleges to give trans-identifying biological men access to women's sports, spaces, and scholarships. When Title IX is viewed in its entirety, it is abundantly clear that discrimination on the basis of sex means discrimination on the basis of being male or female, wrote the court in its ruling. Biden's change to Title IX gutted the protection it provided to women. China's economy is more dependent on exports than it has been for most of the past 2 decades, leaving it vulnerable to a new broadside on trade from President-elect Donald Trump. Chinese exports to the rest of the world grew 5.9% last year, compared with a year earlier to $3.6 trillion, figures published Monday showed. Those figures mean trade is on track to account for about a fifth of the 5% or so growth China is expected to report this year. Amazon is scaling back on some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, becoming the latest major corporation to make cuts to such woke initiatives. In a message to employees last month, Amazon Human Resources executive Candy Castleberry announced updates to the company's representation and inclusion efforts and said the e-commerce giant would be making some changes after spending the past few years evaluating their effectiveness. We worked to unify employee groups together under one umbrella and build programs that are open to all, the memo reads. Rather than have individual groups build programs, we are focusing on programs with proven outcomes, and we also aim to foster a more truly inclusive culture. Amazon joins Meta, McDonald's, Walmart, and others who have recently pulled back from their DEI programs. A milk a day might keep cancer away. Drinking a half pint of milk every day could cut the risks of colorectal cancer by nearly 20%, according to a study of more than 500,000 postmenopausal women's diets over almost 2 decades. Every 300 milligram daily serving of calcium consumed, daily recommendation is approximately 1,000 milligrams, whether in dairy or non-dairy form, was linked with a 17% lower risk of colorectal cancer, which is the 3rd most prevalent cancer in the world. Diagnoses among 25 to 49-year-olds jumped 22% from the 1990s to 2018, and the reason isn't clear. The benefits were not found in milk substitutes like oat, soy, almond, or hemp milks. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.